Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of Steward Talk. This is your host with the most, Daniel Borges, 30-year Team-Stirr, Edison, Meadowlands, Feeder Department, Package Car, Hub, done it all since 1992. And here with your episode for Friday, September the 30th. Long and awaited. A lot of people are asking for this, and I need to get into a lot because this is a lot of BS that I'm going to share with you guys. Again, Daniel Borges, also known as Troublemaker to Local 177, because I speak the truth and I am holding you guys accountable. So here we go. First of all, disclaimer. These are all my views, the views of Daniel Borges alone. I am an employee of United Parcel Service and the Teamsters member, but these are just strictly my views and opinions. They have nothing to do, nor do I represent them at this time. So, getting that out of the way, let's get the show started. So, I was given a flyer by Mr. Bob Cherney, president of our local, about, more like a propaganda flyer, with their picture on it, Here it is. 13 men are all out there on the street trying to save two positions that they might lose. Because at the end of the day, this isn't a democracy. You're not allowed to run. You see, we have other important business to take care of, but they're all trying to keep two of their guys from getting kicked out. Voted out. So they're out there. They're out there on the pavement wasting lots of valuable time because the executive board, they've already been voted. They were already in. They went unopposed. But they have to get out there and show this fraudulent election of, you need to vote the whole slate in, when, number one, their name should never be on there. But we've gotten into that. This is only about business agents. It's only been about the business agents, but everyone wants to deflect. The trolls want to deflect and talk about the contract and never once talked about the contract besides don't give anything back, like breaches. But we'll get into that. So let me go into these over-exaggerated bios. This fluff piece. Experience on the back of it. There is no I on this slate of proven, dedicated leaders. Proven and dedicated. It's funny, they got Gross and Tinger on there and the other guy, and I don't know what they've proven. Proven something to them maybe, but they're shop stewards. But we'll go into their fluff piece. But, one of the other things... One of the things they have here, over 380 years as Teamsters and members of local, 380 years. That's amazing, because I don't even know the company even being around over 117, 20 years. But they're 380 years. Wow. 90 years of elected leadership roles in the executive, 90 years. 144 years served that union, and 50 contracts. 50 contracts. So we have contracts in about 4 to 5 year spans. They negotiated 50. They were part of 50. Wow. You want to talk about, where do you get these numbers from? Who told you that even makes any sense? They got 390 years as members. 380 years. I'm sorry, 380 years. This nation hasn't been around. Lucky to be around over 200, to be around 200 years. We're barely touching 200 years, if that. But you got 380 years. Amazing. Always remember, there is no I in slate. That's the quote here. There is no I in slate. We'll get back to that later. But I want to get into one of these profiles. Mr. Daniel Gross. We've already discussed the 50 contract BS. Okay, and I have a lot of notes here because there's just so much I needed to talk about that I needed to, I want to try to get everything. I don't want this video to be too long, so let me just Let me just get it going here. 23-year Team-Stirr, Local 177, elected to the IBT convention. Ooh. You know what that is? That's the nominations for O'Brien when they ran against whatever was left over from the Hoffa team. He got invited to that. It says here elected. Elected by who? Him and Tinger went to that. Well, they were supposed to, but it got canceled because of COVID. So who elected them to that? What a coincidence. The 13. The 13. They weren't elected by the members. We didn't choose them to go up there. They did it themselves. You call it elected, I call it favoritism. There's nobody else other qualified? Any other shop stewards that belong up there? No. You've been preparing them for the longest. So that's what that is. Experience and grievance processing for the national panel. They don't go to national panel. You might use a grievance that they probably used and bring it to national panel. Like I'll use, for example, load retainer grievances. I remember load retainer grievances done by Vincent Ciaffo, Mike Serrano, years ago. Taken to the national panel. Brought back. And we had documentation from OSHA. We had documentation from saying that they need to retain all the... It was unsafe. So what this bill, how do you negotiate? Oh, you could step down. You could step down, which is another word for saying you don't have to use a low retainer. And so now putting everybody's safety at risk. People have gotten hurt. And of course, even most recently, when we try to hear, Dino and Greg try to hear that again in a grievance hearing, this is why it's so dangerous. You got to watch the business agents you put in. Because he makes an agreement with management to tell them, well, we agreed with step down. No, sorry. So when they got OSHA involved themselves, we got OSHA, DOT. I wrote letters to Department of Transportation in Washington. We got Department of Washington to respond. We got they were able to get in New Jersey, DOT to respond and actually call management and tell them, you better use law retainers. You know who wasn't filing grievances for law retainers? Not Dan Gross. No. He thought that wasn't worthy. They could get away with that. I can promise you there's not probably one low retainer grievance. But that's what Greg and Dino did. They were able to get to force the company to put low retainers. And of course, we have a problem with them again now. But that's another safety issue. You know? But national panel. BS. Rank and file 177 Amazon organizing. We're going to touch on that. Amazon organizing. But one of the doozies here that I like is he attended the 17th Congress in Washington, D.C. as a witness and testified. Testified. For who? On behalf of Amazon. Because that's what Bob Cherney and him were up there doing. And I don't know what other Local 177 members. You see, why are we paying you to fix issues with Amazon when we obviously have our own? This commitment that you have with Amazon, that you also put, with Tinger and whoever else. This other commitment to Amazon that you're representing them in the National Congress. We have anything financially? I mean, what does that have to do with Local 177? We do have other things to do. Are you preparing us for a strike fund? What is there anything in the works to prepare us for that right now? But you're in Washington for Amazon. There could be a possible strike. Are you preparing anyone for that? No. Of course, we don't want one. No, we don't want one. But of course, we need to prepare for it if we do. No, that's not taken care of. You're worried about organizing in Amazon. So, the pension increase. Another fluff piece. What's going on with that? Where is that $300 coming from? You negotiated that with the company? Others tell me no. That's our money. You just decided to give us an extra $300 right before September 11th. right before the elections and right before January, before your guys leave. So these are questions. StuartTalk2022@gmail.com. You're more than welcome to email me and send me, Mr. Cherney and whoever negotiated, all these questions that I'm asking. You can email me, StuartTalk2022@gmail.com. So now, Congress. He was a witness. We spent our time up there. So you were so quick to notify us about your little pension increase, right? You definitely didn't notify us about this congressional thing until you needed to use it on your propaganda flyer to make it seem like you guys are so impressive. Ooh, part of that. You were actually part of a pawn of the Democratic Party run by Nancy Pelosi, Jerry Nadler, part of that crew. And you were actually used as a prop for them to make conservatives look bad. And you used our logo. You used our logo and our brand and our organization for that, Mr. Cherney. That's what you did. Do you understand that you have members who are conservatives? I hate politics. I do not get involved. I could care less. But I'm going to post a video to that so you guys can see that. But this was all a political stunt to shove down our throats the Build Back Better plan that was set by Joe Biden, that crashed and burned. They were using, as an example, Local 177 and another member. No other organization, our organization, that we pay them to do. And to also represent Amazon. So, what did we pay for that? I know we paid for your room and board and for you guys going over there. Allegedly. What does Amazon have to do with us? Or by you organizing them, where's that money going to go? Is it going to go into your to fatten your pockets for new memberships, the IBT? I mean, I thought the IBT should be organizing those things. We're a separate entity. We're a local. I don't understand why we give so much money to these political hacks who do nothing for us. But now you want to be part of it. Listen, if you got future endeavors, if you're looking for some fancy position on the IBT, go leave. Go do that. Don't do it on our dime. You're supposed to be representing us. We got other real issues we need to be taking care of in our local. But you're chasing Amazon and you're doing work for the IBT and making friends with the Democrats? Putting our local out there like that? On our dime? Man. Allegedly. You didn't tell us about this stuff. You just went ahead and you did it. Just like you didn't tell us about the guys you're going to put in. You just go ahead and you do it. BS. We have so many issues that we got to take care of. But Bob Cherney wants to play Jimmy Hoffa Sr., going around the world unionizing people when he gets paid to take care of Local 177. He ain't doing too good of a job of that either. So we got issues with breaches. But no, of course, that's not a give back because we used to get money for that. Now, good luck trying to get that. Someone explained to me he had an actual breach and it was denied while the subcontractor went all over the property, drove on the property, but they denied it. So good luck with those. We got seniority issues. Why isn't our full-time seniorities posted? Why are we still waiting for those? Why is it that Mr. Gross started as a part-time in 1999, but his full-time seniority date is 1999? It takes a year for you to be able to put in an application to transfer to full-time. And last I heard, he went full-time in 2000. So some of you might ask, okay, how do you know this? Watch the video. In Congress, he gave a deposition, written and verbal, okay, under oath. So if he lied about it, it's perjury. So If you forward it to 35 minutes, he gives his bio of himself. He was part-time in 1999, didn't go to full-time till 2000. But our full-time seniority list says different. And it yet to be fixed. You know how many 1999 guys that he's over when he's supposed to be in 2000? We need those lists for one thing. For one, to know our seniority dates, and number two, to make sure we don't get violated using our option weekdays, because that goes by full-time seniority. So how are you gonna know that you didn't get violated? Oh, we're supposed to trust you. We're not supposed to ask questions. Are you even working? You were in Congress. Are you even working with DOT about these cameras that they're eventually gonna put on? These are all things that but you're worried about Amazon, and then you're promoting it. I like the BS, the promotion. Oh, there's no more subcontract. We stopped subcontracting. Technically, yes and no. You just changed the name of it. It's no longer called subcontract. They're called Panteras. So now you don't call it subcontracting. You call it Pantera now. But of course, that wasn't us. So you can blame the IBT for that one, because that's a national thing. You won't take credit for that. You'll take credit for there's no subcontracting. No, because you don't call it that anymore. It's called Pantera. Many non-UPS people moving UPS loads and trailers. Clover lot, the lots over by Cranberry, full of subcontractors. But, let me get into some of this. Like I said, there is no I in Slate. We were a prop in Congress. There is no I in Slate, but there's I in communists, leftists, communism, socialism. That's what this local kind of, because there is no democracy in Local 177. You're not allowed to run. You do as you're told. Don't you run against us. So here it is. You want to shove your Build Back Better down our throats with your hacker pointies, and you're gonna tell us that we have a right. You're just shoveling garbage down our throats, and we're not gonna take it. We are rebelling from your system, but we're troublemakers. You see, so I forgot that I'm not supposed to be speaking up. I forgot that. What's best for us, and we can't, and the guys that they pick and choose to go up there are guys that are not going to say anything back. So you can't choose for yourself. You can't think. That's communism. That's communism. Leftist Bob is communism. Bobby to the left, that's communism. Communist. But it's amazing how, of course, one of your candidates, Stan Gross, was at that meeting. And when it came, if you forward it to an hour and 40 minutes in, it's over a 2-hour piece. It was brutal watching. But I had to watch so I can, make sure I'm talking about what I need to talk about. So an hour and 40 minutes in, Jim Jordan, congressman, asked him a very straight up yes or no question. Do you believe that the economy going up hurts families? The economy of goods, taxes going up. Do you believe that hurts families? You know what his answer was? He wasn't qualified to answer that. He needs an economist to tell him whether taxes being raised, whether the prices of goods are affecting families. He couldn't answer that. So if he can't answer that, he needs an economist. How's he qualified to do the rest of our work? It's funny, in 2013, when he ran against the Hall and he lost, and then he didn't want to be a shop steward when they were looking for one, when he was never one anyway, the contract was bad in 2013 between him. But now this contract, it's amazing. It's the same contract. It's the same contract. So to be part of the board, you have to be able to answer the questions the way they want you to answer. You got to be propped up. So allegedly, most likely the Democrats prop them up. If you get Republican questions, you say this answer. And they prop them up. And he's going to be doing that on, as a business agent. So, of course, the only ones qualified to go on the executive board are those who have no opinions, who don't speak back, and don't speak for themselves and do what they're told. And that's it. So, basically, we're the troublemakers. I'm going to end this now. I know it's long, but this is all stuff you guys need to hear. The conclusion is this. You don't want us to speak up. You want us to think like you, be like you. That's socialism. That's communism. And that's leftist. There's a lot of I's in those. We're not a slate. You're not a slate. You're socialists, communists, pushing your agenda and shoving it down our throats. There is no fair election here. It isn't. But I want to thank you all for coming. You guys need to watch it. I know it's long, but you need to know these things. So I want to thank you all for coming. God bless you all. Good night. God bless America. Keep fighting for the movement, guys. Vote Keshecki and Grimaldi. Grimaldi and Keshecki. We have to, guys. We have to be the ones in charge. Good night.